we've kind of got stuck into a model that there's only two ways to do things, either a pure charity, handing out soup, or a pure business, raping the planet while you fill your pockets. And there's clearly a model that any rational person would find between, but somehow the American psyche and the American business schools and the American tax department seems to have missed that.
The SOCAP conference and the idea of social capital in general is a great acknowledgement that really traditional systems of investing, of giving, aren't working.
I've heard of SOCAP for years, and it's sits at the intersection of things I'm interested in, which is how you use money and sort of business approaches to change the world.
This is a gathering of businesses that are trying to operate with more than just financial return.
And Mozilla itself is a $100 million a year social enterprise, and so we fit in, and it's a chance to learn from other people who are doing the same thing.
SOCAP is about bringing together investors, entrepreneurs, advocates, people that are looking at ways in which money can have meaning.
Non-profits that look like businesses or businesses that look like non-profits. So people who are bridging the gap between operating like a business and having an impact in the world.
It used to be in the old model of philanthropy that a person would make a lot of money and then decide to give some of it away. What's changed is that people are trying to figure out how can they calibrate value in a new way, so that what you're making from your enterprise, sure, is some money, but also some social good.
Making money while doing good.
And that you actually figure out some ways to quantify the value of your product in more than just dollars and cents.
How do you value, for instance, the fact that the migration flow out of the community gets stopped or even reversed? How do you value women empowerment in a project of a technical nature of this kind? The fact that more and more young women are trained into technical jobs and playing a more active role in the community and so on.
There are people who control a lot of money who are not just interested in one bottom line, they're interested in multiple bottom lines.
Traditionally, we talk about a bottom line meaning a financial return. But what does it look like for us to also factor in a social return and an environmental return?
Moving from just the profit-driven bottom line to a triple bottom line of people, profit, and planet.
We plan the value generated on these three levels over the 20 years that the wind farm will be in operation.
So how can the flow of money go towards things that create not only financial returns, but so-called social returns or environmental returns? Money that has to be used to rebuild society, rebuild the environment, and be profitable from doing so.
The idea of doing well by doing good is not the answer to creating a just, equitable, and sustainable economy, but it's one part of the answer. And to the extent that they can increase awareness in the wider business community and increase the pressure on the people who don't natively hold those values, I think that can only be good.
People are here saying, I want to invest, or I want to find investors who are not looking for an exit strategy in the next quarter, looking for investors that are trying to make a difference in the way businesses operate in America.
They can create an expectation that corporations need to be responsible, not just here and there, give a little bit to the Boys and Girls Club on an annual basis and say that they're doing their community justice, but really have a sustained policy and deep practice. The people here are the ones who are thinking most about that and who are coming up with the new models that will be replicated.
This conference exists because a lot of other convenings around putting impact and money together only wanted to get the right people in the room. And markets are about inviting the stranger in, and the barbarian and the Byzantine meeting together in ways they wouldn't otherwise. And so our intention was to violate the protocol of the wealthy and let everybody in the door.
Besides getting people in the room, have you seen results?
Yeah, there's a lot of results from this conference. I mean, one of the things, Simpa Networks is really cool. They formed last year at SOCAP, and they're a mobile billing thing around off-the-grid power. So they just formed, the team came together, and they pitched at the Mobile Fast Pitch yesterday, and they got funding today. So startups form, and then they work for a year and they come back and they get funding. That's the clearest example, I think, of the idea turns into a real business, turns into a business that can pay the founders.